Farm4Profit podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm4Profit podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm4Profit podcast.
Hey, listeners, welcome back to the Farm4Profit podcast. This is Tanner.
This is Corey.
You sound like you've been having fun.
I have been, because we just got off of 3 wine segments in a row, and we are going to mash 2 of them together for you today, right now.
What about these wine segments made them so fun?
Well, it's the people. I mean, the wine is fantastic, right? Like, we are not wine drinkers, learning the industry of wine and having a fantastic, if I could use Tanner's word, time about it. But it is so cool. There's so many things that we can draw from the Midwest farming to the farmers of California just growing grapes for wine.
And we could go way in depth with each one of these guests, but for us, selfishly, we get to try more wines when we have more conversations.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's so we have a nice bourbon collection.
Yeah,
We are starting to build our wine cellar here in the studio. So
it's one of those things that I agree. It's not necessarily an acquired taste, but you don't realize what you're tasting until you've tasted multiple. And for us, we're very fortunate to have this opportunity. But listeners, it's because you like things like this. And if you don't, you should tell us. We'll probably ignore you. But if there's other things we should be doing, you know, like we've got a crazy idea to partner with, you know, maybe we should make this into a cooking with Corey segment.
oh boy,
You can pair your wine with something that Corey. Are you a good cook?
I'm a good cook.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm
I'm not
pretty good
a
too.
I'm not a great like here's the recipe guy. I'm a like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit, so I can never repeat my process.
Yeah. The other night I made homemade hamburger helper, but it was just with what stuff we had. So basically I had noodles and ground beef, and then I threw in pizza cheese.
That's not cooking. That's
Yes, it is.
hamburger helper.
It was homemade.
That's homemade, but it's two different things we're talking about here.
Is it?
You called it hamburger helper. If you're calling it that, it's not. No.
Correct.
No, you should have called it like a
pasta dish?
something more
A
sophisticated. Ground beef pasta dish. Yeah, with whatever spice. Yeah, I don't know.
It still was extremely delicious. It could have been considered a casserole, or would that be a hot dish?
It's a casserole.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
Yep.
agree at least on those terms.
Yeah, I'm not from Minnesota.
If you've got things for us, farm4profitllc@gmail.com or text us 515-207-9640. But Corey, do you have it sorted out which 2 we're going to share with our listeners?
I do. We have a stack of papers here. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. We got open wine bottles and glasses everywhere. We're just going to do this. Let's do it live.
Let's do it live.
Today on the Farm for Fun show, we are in studio doing the Sonoma County Winegrowers segments. We're going to have 2 segments here. First one, this man is a vineyard manager for Robert Young Estate Vineyards. He has probably one of the best named wines I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to tell you what, the taste, the experience of this wine follows to suit. It is amazing. He's also a 5th generation Alexander Valley farmer and a board member of the Sonoma County Winegrowers. Please welcome Mr. Dan Rotlisberger.
Yeah.
About said Rotlisberger. It's Rotlisberger.
We're drinking wine today.
We are not normal wine drinkers. But I couldn't be happier. It's actually Friday afternoon as we were recording
I know.
this. Like late Friday afternoon.
It's not
here.
breakfast.
And Tanner's made me do a wine segment in the morning before on like a Tuesday, and did not go well with my schedule.
I know we're learning more and more about wines. We've been learning that like crackers and cheese pair well with wines. So I brought in some fancy chicken and biscuits and some spray cheese.
Is that even real cheese?
It does. It says in the ingredients because my wife challenged
It's
me as
really
well.
hot. Did you microwave?
It was in the truck. I kind of forgot.
Oh my god!
I'm not sure it's still safe to eat anymore.
No.
Can you leave cheese in your truck and it still be safe?
Yeah. Well, nah. For a couple months, I guess. According to Dave, it does say milk protein concentrate cheddar cheese.
Yeah, there's cheese
I'm
in it.
not having that with mine.
You're not.
No.
Okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode, the wine and the man behind it. Welcome to the podcast, Dan Rotlisberger from You are the Vineyard Manager at Robert Young Estate Winery and Vineyards, correct?
Yep, that's correct. Here in Sonoma County, out in California.
That's right. Thanks to that partnership with Sonoma County. That was cool. We need to go back out to Tulare,
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
the World Ag Expo, and then venture off into Sonoma County for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I don't know if I'd survive that, but definitely need some time to travel through there. I think that'd be amazing. As we get to know you a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and get this bottle opened up here, and then we'll talk about it. But yeah, where are you from, Dan? Have you always been in the winery game?
Yeah, so I'm a fifth generation farmer here in Sonoma County, more specifically out here in the Alexander Valley, which is kind of a sub-appellation here in Sonoma County. So I grew up growing grapes too. So my family's been farming not quite as long as the Youngs family has. This is my day job, but we still try to do some farming on the home property, kind of nights and weekends. Kind of more of a hobby farm at this point, being so small. But yeah, I grew up in it. I grew up. My grandparents raised me, so my grandpa was, in charge of the home farm at the time. So I spent a lot of time having to work out in the vineyard, and he put me to work quite a bit and learned how to drive a tractor, and just fell in love with it and decided to pursue a career in it.
Tanner was supposed to bring my cork opener, and I don't.
Well, you're going to have to go get it. I'll talk to...
You told
Dan.
me you brought it. I asked you if
Oh,
you did.
no, didn't bring it. It's still sitting in the
I
drawer.
literally said, "Did you bring my basketball phone?"
Just say yes, right, Dan?
Yeah, that's right.
So it's interesting that your grandparents raised you.
Yeah. I went to live with my grandparents when I was about 4 years old. So yeah, basically my whole life was just having them kind of as my grandparents or my actual parents. So that was good. We kind of skipped the generation prior to me, kind of skipped out on farming. So it was kind of good to grow up with my grandpa and then kind of take over from him when he decided to step back and retire.
Yeah, that is interesting. And then as I look at this paper, you had that experience with your grandparents growing up there, and then you went to California State University in Fresno.
Fresno State, that's right. Go Dogs.
You did a lot of schooling. Holy smokes. A double major with an MBA that you later on got from Sonoma State?
Yeah. So I went down to Fresno right out of Healdsburg High School. Watch yourself. Careful now. And spent 5 years down there. Got my degree in viticulture originally, so the grape growing side of things. That's truly my passion. And then, I thought it'd be a little silly not to also learn about the winemaking side of things. So I got my second bachelor's in enology, which is the winemaking. Same department down there, which is great. So I was able to complete the two bachelor's degrees in 5 years, which was nice to have that department, that cohesion within the department that was able to do that.
Wow. And he got the 40 under 40 award, which we're going to try and get Corey last year. I think he's running out of years to qualify.
Oh no, I've got a few years left for that. I don't know if I want that, but if I don't make that, I'll go for 50 under 50.
See, it just gets easier.
Widening and widening.
Yeah. There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, no, it's been fun. It's been a good career so far. I just turned 40 this January, so it's been a good career and kind of in a good spot in life and everything else. So yeah, I couldn't ask for more right now.
So when you meet someone, say you're traveling the world, or say you come to the Midwest, how do you introduce yourself? Do you introduce yourself as a farmer first?
Yeah. I just say I'm a farmer. I just that's the number one go-to. Even around here, it's not, oh, I'm a grape grower for XYZ. It's just, oh, I'm just a farmer. And then they ask, and around here it's pretty easy. You're usually only farming one thing, so it's pretty easy to guess what kind of farmer you are. But
are you just farming
definitely
grapes?
Farmer first. I am. So my role here at Robert Young Vineyards. So our family farm's gotten so small that I'm the second generation now to farm it that needs outside work. So I decided to actually also be a farmer as my outside job as well. So I'm Vineyard Manager here at Robert Young Estate Vineyards and Winery in Alexander Valley. It's about 4 miles from my house. It's perfect. And actually, Robert Young was my great uncle as well. So I kind of
you got some relation into it as well.
There is some relationship there, yeah. So myself, I run the vineyard side of the operation. Robert Jr., He runs the hospitality and tasting room. So that's Robert Young's grandson. And then Matt Michael, who's our winemaker, he handles all the winemaking side of things. And funny story, about 2 years ago, he married another one of Robert Young's great granddaughters. So he's
Uh-oh.
family now too. So
Oh, yes.
the three of
Okay.
us kind of hold the little next generation brain trust, and we're all technically family. So it works out.
That's cool. So what did Corey just pour out here before we dive deeper into the winery?
Yeah, so this is the Bob's Burn Pile. This is one of my favorite wines that we make here on the property. It's 100% Cabernet Sauvignon from this is the 2021 vintage. It gets its name because Robert Young had a spot up on the hillside for his burn pile. You know, all these farms, we all have burn piles. So that was his favorite thing to do. He's a little bit of a pyrotechnic guy, pyro, and he loved torching his burn piles. And over the years, decades later, we actually developed that land on the hillside into vineyard, and the block that ended up getting planted on top of the burn pile makes this wine here, the Bob's Burn Pile.
So can you taste the burn pile through it?
Not quite. No, not quite. There's probably some biochar advantages to it a little bit, but no,
some
there's
charred
not much that
notes,
comes through.
some
No,
cardboard. No,
no, it's been
Old
it's
tires.
been many decades. I don't think you'll pick up on any of that anymore.
Would that, if there was still a burn pile next to it and you lit it, a couple of times throughout the growing season, would those grapes take on a smoky? Like, can you smoke? A grape?
Yeah. Yeah, you certainly could. Yeah, one of our biggest fears here in this region of California overall really is wildfires. We're still in the thick of our wildfire season. We've got some weather coming Monday that might bring some moisture. I'm kind of looking around and all the hills are dry. So if we had an event that sparked something, that's always a concern. And it's not just for the wine grapes. It's not just the proximity your vineyard is to the fire. It's also the smoke that can carry over from a county over and just settle in your vineyard. And if it stays around long enough, and there's a lot of research going into it right now about intensity of the smoke, the amount of time a vineyard's exposed to the smoke, and even distance to a certain extent. But distance isn't even as important as where the smoke ends up going to settle. And then what happens is just through the natural respiration of the vines, they bring in the smoke and they strip off compounds that eventually find their ways to the grapes. So it's not just the soot and the smoke debris on the surface of the grape, but it actually gets into the grape physiologically. And then it's hard to tell because sometimes during fermentation, the winemaker would pick the grapes, take it into the winery, ferment it in the tank, and he doesn't get any off smoky flavors or colors or smells, I should say. But as the wine ages and the chemistry within that wine keeps doing its thing, it might kick out that one molecule. And as that kicks out and becomes unbound, now it's perfuming throughout the wine and it'll taste like an ashtray and smell like an ashtray. We've had a lot of experience, unfortunately, here in California with the wildfires and making wine after wildfires. We're learning a lot, and a lot of folks are just, that we won't even risk bringing it in if it was too much of a smoke exposure concern.
Yeah, that would be tough. You sell that bottle, someone puts it in their wine cellar, and then they go to open it 10 years later.
Yeah.
You don't want that risk.
No. And that's, we want to build our consumer confidence, and we have a great following in our wine club and, a lot of fans out there. So yeah, it's just not something that we'd want to even try to risk.
Did the smoke ever affect yield of the grapes at all?
No, not really. Not really. It's almost now to a point where it's, either you're going to pick it and it's going to turn out fine and it's, the yields you would have had already, or you're just not going to pick it at all. So I guess going from full yield to zero yield, yeah, I guess smoke does have an effect, but not physically on the vines themselves.
Yeah, we've had a few years where the Canadian wildfire smoke has come and settled down in the Corn Belt here in the Midwest, and you can just tell the days are just hazy. Not that you can physically see like a puff of smoke or a smoke cloud, but it's hazy. And a lot of agronomists were really worried about yield. And in fact, I think one of the worst years, 2021 or something, our yield was amazing. But it was a hotter year, and I think there's two theories. Either the smoke took the intensity of the sun down, so it didn't quite burn, get the heat units that
Sure.
we needed.
Sure.
And then also CO2, right? Like plants breathe CO2, or you take that in, and maybe there's a lot extra there. So it was an interesting concept, but I don't know. That
Yeah,
really-
our biggest issue with the whole thing is just that physiological movement of those molecules and getting into the fruit. That's we found out the hard way here in California, but that's certainly a pathway that we've learned about since we've been having these worsening wildfires.
Yep.
So what are you tasting?
I'm terrible with the tasting notes, but if I could just say one word, call it one word, it's easy.
Yeah.
Like it's just easy. Like it's not too bitter. It's not too tanniny. Like it's good.
It's a drier wine, but I feel like my tongue feels smooth after I
I'd
drink
be
it.
like go with the easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's
So you don't. Yeah, you don't get that kind of that dryness that where super heavy tannic wine will kind of give you a tackiness and dryness on the tongue. No, Matt, our winemaker, does a fantastic job in the cellar, and this one does have some extended oak time. It's 2 years in barrel, and those are all 100% new barrels, which typically, most wineries will use a blend of used and new barrels, just so those new barrels that are nicely newly charred don't impart too much to the wine, and it depends on variety. Pinot Noir, you don't want to go 100% brand new barrel. Probably the barrel would overpower the wine itself. But in these Cabernets, we can really up that percentage of new barrel and still come out with a product that as good as this Bob's Burn Pile.
It is very good, and I'm trying to identify. I'm not good at identifying fruits either. It's like a dark fruit is what I'm thinking of. Not a blackberry. Maybe it is a blackberry. But it is. It's very good.
Yeah, it could certainly be blackberry. This one's my favorite wine, and I'm just a fan of kind of bigger wines, specifically Cabernet Sauvignon. That's what we grow on the home ranch, on the family ranch, and the bulk of what I grow here at Robert Young on the red side of things. But I also I'm a guy that I grill outside, and I eat a lot of food that's cooked over fire and grilled, and wines like this stand up to stuff like that all day long. So that's probably one of the bigger reasons why it's one of my favorite wines we make.
Yeah, I could see it pairing really well with chicken and a biscuit and cheese whiz.
No, I'm thinking this wine with one of them big, like just way too big tomahawk steaks.
Oh, that
Now you're talking.
Yeah,
now you're talking.
That's what I get when I drink this. Like I want to have that with it.
Yeah,
With
we've
special, just salt and pepper.
Yep.
Yeah, on the home ranch, we've got some pasture area. My daughters are really into 4-H. My wife as well. She's actually one of the 4-H leaders locally. So we just filled the freezer earlier this spring with a steer we had raised since he was a calf, and we've been eating some really good steaks lately and pairing it with wines like this, and it's perfect.
That's nice. So do all the grapes from your farm get sold to Robert Young?
No. So we sell, we've been selling, it's a various different handful of wineries, I guess, over the years. It seems like it kind of ebbs and flows, but other commercial wineries, here at Robert Young Estate Vineyards, we're about 320 acres when we're fully planted of vines. And so this be about 2,000 tons on a good year from the vineyard. And we only crush about 7 to 10% of that to make our own wine on site. So we're also primarily a commercial vineyard that we sell to outside wineries. The fruit.
So it says on the back of this from 2021, this Bob's Burn Pile says it made 23 barrels. 23 barrels produced, it says.
Yep.
That's it. That's limited.
How many bottles is that?
So that's just shy of 600 cases. So you're probably in that 550 cases range.
So 30,000 bottles.
30,000 bottles?
Six.
There's 6 bottles?
Do math.
How many are in a case?
12 times 550.
Now who's the math whiz? Can't.
I didn't think there was that many bottles.
6,600 bottle.
Yeah.
So is that like being sold in stores, or that specifically going through your wine club?
Yeah, so we are kind of hard to get. We've built a beautiful tasting and event center, which I'm actually seated in right now. We have the whole patios full of folks here enjoying the wine. We're pretty much 100% direct to consumer. So we like to have the folks come through our tasting room, go outside, sit down, be seated, be hosted by one of our folks that work here and kind of talk through the whole entire story. We're not so much, belly up to the bar and here's your pour and tell me what you think of the wine. We really try to make it kind of a big experience for everybody here. And I think that speaks better to our wines as well. There's a little bit of a concern, and we're small enough we can still do it that way, but there's a little bit of concern as we push this out onto like supermarket shelves that it just doesn't quite do it justice for what we're able to host and show folks the property here in person. So almost entirely through this facility is through direct sales, and our wine club is very popular as well. And you'll find it in a handful of local Healdsburg high-end restaurants where we're listed, but that's it for the most part.
Oh, it's really good. How many other wines does Robert Young produce?
Quite a few. So we have, so Bob's Burn Pile is one of 3 Cabernet Sauvignons, I would say is in that kind of upper reserve tier. We make another one that's similar to Bob's Burn Pile called Thomas Meek Cabernet from a vineyard right down the road. Thomas Meek was an uncle of Robert back in the day. And then we also make what I would say was our kind of flagship, highest top of the hill red wine we call Silas. Which is mainly Cabernet Sauvignon, does find a few other little blenders in there from time to time, but that kind of rounds out our top end. And then we do have a Scion, which is a red blend. And that one is one of the more popular wines. It's what I had at my wedding. we came over here, we stocked up on it. Also one of my favorite wines. And then really all kinds of things. We have several Chardonnays as well, because Robert Young, back in the day when he was growing grapes, he actually developed his own clone of Chardonnay. It's clone 17 Chardonnay. Everybody calls it the Robert Young clone. So nurseries propagate that throughout the state. There's quite a bit of it planted throughout the state, but we also make several different iterations of that Chardonnay as well in-house.
I also see you have a rosé.
We do.
Or a rose. You have a rose. It doesn't have the little chicken over the E.
Rosé, yeah. It's Rachel's rosé. Yeah.
What is a rosé? Because I see it's got a twist cap on, and I associate a twist cap on the top of the bottle as to a lower quality wine. Maybe that's the wrong assumption.
It certainly is more and more. It's certainly getting to be a more wrong assumption. Yes. There's some very fine wines getting put in the screw cap right now.
Is that the screw cap technology, like the ability to keep it sealed?
Yeah. I mean, it's this is just purely my opinion. I just we spend so much time and effort and cost making wines for everybody to enjoy. Then we stick a piece of cork bark in it, tree bark, in the top. It's like, oh, hopefully that holds. It's like, well, the porosity of these corks varies. There's no one cork that's exactly the same as any other one if you're using natural corks. Whereas in that screw cap, they have different liners they can put in the top of that. So when it goes down on the bottle and gets installed, they can predict the exact amount of oxygen entry into that wine. So you can pick, for example, a screw cap for like a Cabernet Sauvignon that needs to be aged longer. You can pick a screw cap that maybe doesn't let in as much air so that it can sit down and lay in your cellar much longer. And whereas if you have like a Sauvignon Blanc, which is a wine that you typically wouldn't put down, they might even have like a tin liner, which is almost no oxygen getting to it. So it's just crisp, fresh when you open it, and it's meant to be consumed right away. So I do like the technology, and they're getting new stuff all the time within the screw caps. It just seems like it, in my opinion, it's just a far more superior closure, and you know what you're getting with the screw cap. And it seems like more and more higher end wineries are going that direction, and not they're not really in fear of it's more of a fear of the consumer, not kind of what you just said.
Yep.
It's like, oh, screw cap's inferior, which yeah. So it's more of a fear of that than actual. In my opinion, it can do better things for the wine than your traditional cork closures.
So what is a rosé? Is a rosé a type of grape as well, or is it?
Now, rosé is more the style of the winemaking. So for the rosé, our particular rosé we make from Malbec, which is a red grape variety. We do make a actual red wine that's dark red, as similar to the Bob's Burn Pile of Malbec.
Ooh, I would
But
like that. That's one of my favorites.
all the color from red wines come from the skins. So when you go and crush red grapes, the immediate juice that comes out of those is white. Um, so there's even some folks making like white Pinot Noir right now, where they'll just take it into the winery, they'll throw the black, purple Pinot Noir clusters into the press off the juice, and take that juice, clarify it, and ferment it directly from there, similar to like a Sauvignon Blanc. So they'll actually make a white wine out of a red grape variety. Um, so why red wines get their color is they ferment with those skins, and as they ferment over a period of 7 to 10 days, that color and tannin gets extracted from the skins into that juice. So it gets darker and darker over time. What we do with rosé is we'll come in, we'll crush it, and then depending on the style, some wineries will leave it on the skins for like a day or two. You get a little bit of color extraction and then press it, and then you have a much lighter red wine or rosé. Some wineries will bring it in, they'll press it, and they'll get the clear juice. And then at the end of fermentation, they'll add back some of the red wine Malbec that they crushed to get that color exactly where they want it. So it's different styles for different folks. But basically, what we're doing with rosé is just not over extracting these red varieties as much as we would to make a standard red table wine.
I never would have guessed.
Never would have guessed.
No, two good answers to two good questions. I figured a twist cap myth. I'm glad you busted that. And I've always wondered about a rosé. I don't know if I've tried one in a long time, but it's good to know.
I know my wife likes them.
Yeah, I mean, they're great, refreshing summertime wines, especially on a hot day by the pool, or around here, we go down to the Russian River and enjoy the day with the family. They're probably one of the more easily accessible and approachable wines out there. So I tell a lot of folks to start with a rosé if you're just getting into wine.
Yeah. I'm interested in the state of the grape and the wine industry. I watched a few videos probably a month ago. It sounded from California. It sounded like things weren't the greatest right now in the market. A lot of maybe outside grapes or wine coming into the market and things like that. Like, what I want to hear it actually from a wine grower.
Yeah, well, yeah, what you've heard is real. This is by far the worst state I've ever seen this industry in, and I've been doing this, professionally. If you don't count my, tractor driving skills as an 8-year-old, helping my grandfather get the crop off, but I've been doing it professionally now for about 18 years, and it's by far the worst I've seen. My boss, Jim Young, talking to him, this is his 50th harvest here on the property. And even he says that he has never seen it this bad. So it's a few different things. We're still trying to pinpoint exactly what it is. I think there's been an overall decrease in wine consumption from the pre-pandemic levels. So during pandemic, a lot of people were staying home, and we were going gangbusters. We were shipping wine to everybody. They were staying home drinking wine, and it was the best thing ever. We ramped up production, and wineries were out there buying fruit because they couldn't make enough wine to sell during COVID, basically. And we all thought that was the new normal, which is probably kind of silly. So then that's kind of a correction back to normal, but it's corrected just completely the opposite direction to where we're below pre-pandemic levels, which is frustrating. So then that just trickles down to the grape growers, and we don't get a crop until year 3, and we don't really get a real good profitable crop really until year 4, year 5. So you're trying to make decisions on not just what to plant, but how much to plant ahead of a market that you don't know where it's going to be in 5 years. So it takes a lot longer for us to do these corrections. There's a lot of vineyard going out. We actually have about half the property pushed out right now. There's a chunk of it we did go ahead and go replant. There's a chunk of it we're waiting on. But yeah, it's just kind of, hey, we took a chance on some of it. Hoping the market turns around in 3 years, which I think in 3 years, by the time we get that first crop, it'll be in a lot better place than it is right now. But yeah, it's rough. You drive around here, and it's it's more acres pushed up into burn piles than I've ever seen my entire life, and it's throughout the state.
Well, not to make light of it, but then you could have Dan's Burn Pile and Sue's Burn
Yeah.
Pile and Martha's Burn
We've
Pile.
we've got a lot of burn piles we can name around here. That's for
Man.
sure.
We've been naming some livestock, some bulls. We're going to start naming some sheep, some show sheep. So I think maybe
start
that's
naming some
what we need to do is get some farm for profit named wines.
There you go. Yeah, we
Yeah.
should get on that.
we'll come out there and test which one we'd like and be like, these are the unnamed wines that we need named, and we'll name them. Yeah.
That's right. You guys come out anytime you're out here.
Yeah.
So if folks do want to order your wines, what's the best way for them to reach out and do that?
So typically, the easiest way is just through our website. It's ryew.com. It's Robert Young Estate Winery, ryew.com. That's typically the best way to do it. And then also on the website, you can reach out to us with any questions you might have, or if you're going to be in the area and you'd like to do a tasting with us, you can book it there on the website.
Looks like they also got Instagram at Robert Young Winery. Check them out there. I like that. RyeW.
Yeah, it is. Dan, it's been a pleasure.
right.
Thank you for helping educate us and for playing along with the terrible cracker and cheese joke.
Yeah, you guys enjoy. I'll hold off.
I'll hold on you. And we thank Sonoma County for the partnership. It's always fun getting connected to you farmers and get to tell your story.
Yeah, great to be here. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, have a great fall, and we'll catch you when we get out there. We'll definitely stop by.
Sounds good. We'll see you then.
Meet Maya Cornheads, built better for over 40 years to power through down corn, high yields, and tough fields without flinching.
These durable, low-maintenance heads mean less downtime, less grain loss, and more profit per acre. They have the option for down corn attachments or direct-driven chopping. They ensure that your combine will move smoothly, fast, and full at all times.
Don't just harvest your fields, conquer them. Visit mayacornheads.com to find the dealer near you.
Now let's get into the next guest of this episode. Great first conversation with Dan. We always appreciate the connections that we've been given. Corey, what is your next introduction?
It's another good one. It's another red, but this one is awesome. Guys, today on the Farm for Fun show, we have our second guest of the day. This man isn't a wine drinker, and I can appreciate it, and he might look like someone you know if you are into podcasts. What do you think, Tanner? Am I right on that?
You were right. He had to take his hat off for me to see it.
So there's a little nugget for you. Stay tuned. I'm not going to give that away in the intro. He's a hunter. He did not grow up in the wine industry, but he is the Vineyard Manager for Vimark Vineyard Management for Trione Vineyards and Winery. Please welcome Mr. Kris Hicks.
All right. It's a pleasure of ours to invite Kris Hicks. He's the Vineyard Manager of Vimark Vineyard Management and Trione. I should have asked you. Trione?
Yeah, Trione. Yeah.
Trione
Italian.
Vineyards. Awesome. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've heard about you guys quite a bit through the Wine Grape Commission, so it's cool to be asked to be a guest.
Absolutely. So you guys sent us 3 wines. We're going to try 2 of them.
Otherwise, we end up laying on the floor.
Yeah, because we're doing a couple segments here. So, we can only have so much. And wine drunk is a different type of drunk. So, yeah.
The best drunk, right?
Sure. And it's already warm in here. I feel like my face has gotten warm just before we even started drinking the wine. But, anyway, Kris, we'd like to learn a little bit about the guests. So, let's start with little Kris. Did you grow up in the wine industry, or what got you here?
No, this is probably up till the day I started, this is probably the last job I ever dreamed of.
Really?
It's, I ended up, my wife's family's been in Sonoma County for 80 years. And we met in Sacramento, and, things change in life, and she was always going to move back to Sonoma County, to Santa Rosa to be specific, with her family and her business. And so I kind of just chased her. So we weren't married then, but we are married now for the last 15 years. And so I ended up here kind of just chasing my wife. And it's a good story. But this is her family. This is one of her family businesses. I'd been in construction for most of my adult life, or some form of labor, but I was actually a union carpenter for about 10 years. And
Okay.
with the decline in the economy in 2008, if everybody kind of remembers that,
Yeah.
construction was nowhere to be found in Northern California within like a 4-hour drive. So I was looking for stuff to do, and I started working for the Vineyard Manager before me here, just remodeling houses, building. They owned 600 acres on 6 different properties at that time, and there's always something to do. So it just ended up being a really good fit. I kept busy, and then when the economy picked up, I was gonna go back to construction, but kind of worked myself into a spot over here in the vineyard. And since 2012, I've been running it by myself, or not by myself, but I've been, designated vineyard manager.
Wow. So this is your wife's family's operation.
Correct. Yeah.
Were you a wine drinker before, or are you a wine drinker now?
Still not a wine drinker now either. I appreciate it. I really like work. That's my guilty thing. I'm a sucker. If you're all of ag, if you don't like to work, you're in the wrong business. I didn't grow up with wine. I grew up pretty blue collar with my parents, and dad in construction, mom worked for the state, and it was a kind of a little bit of a luxury. So I didn't grow up drinking it, and then but I do appreciate it, and I appreciate the work that goes into it. So.
So you're not going to drink it with us?
No, I got to go to work in like 3 hours. I got to be awake. I can't sleep.
Because it's harvest season for you, right?
Yeah.
Do you drink enough of it to at least know what your work yielded?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what is your go?
Yeah, no,
do you have a go-to drink? Are you like a beer guy or whiskey or nothing?
I'm a beer and whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do beer and whiskey, and it's but we'll go, we go out and go four-wheeling and goof off, and we drink a lot of beer, and
Yeah.
the whiskey comes out and it's trouble. So it's,
It is probably pretty nice to have someone managing your operations that isn't going to pillage any of your inventory.
yeah. Oh, don't worry. My wife does a very good job. She drinks for the two of us.
I love that. So this first one we're going to taste is Trione Vineyards and Winery. This is out of the Russian River Valley Appalachian River Road Ranch. This is a Sauvignon Blanc. So it's a white wine.
Mm-hmm.
And I chilled it because Google told me to chill it.
You should.
It's a
Robert.
2023 vintage coming out of Sonoma County. That's first one we're tasting.
So you as the farmer, what grapes are going into this?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon
100%.
Blanc grape. Yep. And then 2023 seems like a pretty young. So is that a wine you drink pretty much right away?
Yeah. So Sauvignon Blanc, it can be pressed or harvested, pressed off at the winery and bottled within 3 months. So they'll press it, we'll crush it, halted pick it, they crush it, they press it off, put it in barrel or tank. A lot of it's stainless tanks. It kind of depends on the process. But Sauvignon Blanc will go to bottle in November, as early as November, December, and then as late as, I would say, you're probably on the late side for Sauvignon Blanc if you're in March and April. So I shouldn't say that, but it's a cash flow wine because you can press it, bottle it, sell it, and it's good to drink. So it's a spring, summer, winter. It's an easy drinking wine as well.
It's just so good.
It is. It is. And I appreciate I appreciate the money side of it, because Tanner and I have had this conversation with some bourbon people. That's like, bourbon needs to be aged, right? But then you also need to make some money at some point. So how do you start a distillery for bourbon? Like so then you sell unaged, or
there's a White Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to turn that stuff around, or else it's a tough investment in what cab is 2 to 3 years, and good cab is 3 to 5 years. And it's they try and get the vintages out, but it's hard to dictate You know, take the economy, for example. 3 years ago, we weren't in the situation we're in now. And now you're trying to sell all that inventory you brought in 22, and now it's 25. And we don't know who's drinking wine, why they're not drinking wine, who's drinking alcohol. And it's everybody's playing a guessing game as to why things are in, you know, the alcohol in general is in the direction it's going.
Yeah, I think in general, just people are drinking less alcohol. I think that they're either more health conscious or there's
Corey and I are
more
trying to help
opportunities for
offset
other
that.
items. We try to make up for the people that aren't.
Your part.
Yeah. Same way with on the meat side of things, we try to, you know, to offset those people. Like, so, but no, this wine is really good. It's something I feel like my wife would like. It's a little sweet for me. I'm getting a really sweet Honey Crisp apple.
Did you read the website?
I can't read from that far now.
The website says the tasting notes is bright aromas of a Honeycrisp apple, lime, and orange blossoms. Have you ever eaten an orange blossom?
No, but I say Honeycrisp because our friend Ryan Rusink just brought me Honeycrisp apples from his family's farm in Michigan. And it tastes like that apple.
It is. It does. Crisp, fruit driven. It's exploding with layers of fruit.
Yep. But what is odd to me? Did you smell it before you drank it?
I did.
I don't feel like it tastes like it smells.
No, it does not. It does not.
That is odd to me. You're supposed to smell with your mouth open, Tanner.
We don't have any fun.
So this vineyard, it's like we've been growing really good Sauvignon Blanc grapes on that. This site specific, it's just like you hit a home run sometimes, and this is one of the spots. This Sauvignon Blanc is some of the most. If it ever comes up out of contract, I can immediately sell it.
Yeah.
It's just been in good programs for its whole existence since it's been in the ground. And I mean, there's a number of growers that do take from this site, a number of wineries, 3 wineries exactly take from that site, but Trione takes the bulk load of it, and they do an exceptional job with their Sauvignon Blanc.
Good. So how many wines does Trione make?
Ooh, that's 6, 7. I don't know. You have the website.
1, 2,
say
3, 4,
we sell
5,
them
6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them.
9. So they've scaled back on a few just to try and get, a little bit more focused, a little more direction.
Yep.
But I think they just had so many SKUs that sometimes it's hard for somebody to narrow it down. So I think they're down to 6 or 7, maybe.
When's your wife get a wine named after her?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I have a whole vineyard block planted in her name.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she specifically asked for Merlot, and if you know anything about grapes, not a lot of people are planting Merlot these days. And but she's like, "You're planting me Merlot." I'm like, "Okay." So every time anything comes up, I'm like, "Denise's Merlot, Denise's Merlot." Like, I'll just keep driving that home till it sticks.
How many more years until that's available?
We picked its first vintage this year, so
Nice.
it will. They're going to do some playing with it, in the winery, kind of seeing what they like, what they don't like, and then we'll make adjustments till it's in its full production over the next. It'll take another 2 years till we're in full production with it, 2 to 3.
Because the one that Corey is pouring right now is Henry's. I don't know who Henry is, but I hope Henry has good tastes. This is Henry's blend.
So Henry is the patriarch of the Trione family. He's the guy that started the whole show. He's my wife's great grandfather who passed a few years back. He passed away at 94, but World War II veteran, came home, just played all his hands correctly. From he has a book. It's called Footprints of the Baker Boy, and it's just his like a self-written biography, and the stories in there of that man and the business deals he made, and I think he says in his book, "I never lost a friend due to business," or something along those lines. But he just made so. But he just every time he'd land on his feet and have good business or whatever it was. So he, a modest living, a baker's son out of Oakland, he moved here from Italy, and then a baker's son, and then went to World War II, came back, and then started selling insurance door to door, and then opened up this is like the Cliff Notes. He made his first little small fortune borrowing money on the East Coast and loaning it out on the West Coast. And then he just kept rolling this into things and rolling it into it, and then other business opportunities. And at one point in the late 70s and 80s, he owned part of the Oakland Raiders and sold that after their 84 Super Bowl. And but everything he's gotten his fingers into, he's been very successful with. And then that in turn paved the path for his two boys, Victor and Mark, who own Vimark and own Trione Winery. Victor and Mark.
Vimark, Victor and Mark.
There you go.
That would be like
Vimark.
Tari or Canner. It really doesn't work for us.
Canacor.
Oh, that would,
You can make it work.
that would make sense.
So this is a 2019 vintage, and I want to read off. It's a blend. I want to read off the percentages: 35% Cabernet Sauvignon, 34% Merlot, 13%. Is that a Petit or Petit Verdot?
Petite.
Petit
Yeah,
Verdot. 13% Cabernet Franc, and 5% Malbec.
When have you ever seen the word petite pronounced petit?
Well, it doesn't have an E on it. Petit.
Oh,
P-E-T-I-T.
It's a French man.
So,
I like that. First of all, I want to know, did you read the book about Great Grandpa, or do you just know the story because you're in the family?
No, I did. We have it on our shelf.
Oh. I was going to give you a bunch of crap if you hadn't. So
Did you order us
Yeah,
some?
no, it's a simple read. It's it's entertaining.
yeah, there's one book on the internet for sale for $1,257.67.
Must be like first edition
I'll send
signed.
you one. We have a box full.
Oh, please.
There you
It
go.
wasn't on the New York Times bestseller.
Then
But it is entertaining.
Then I will put it on eBay for $1,257.67.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh,
We'll send you one.
that is good.
That's good.
That is, I don't know if I've ever had a
Oh.
blend.
You've had a red blend.
Probably, but I don't know if I've known that it was Petit Verdot and Malbec. What is Malbec?
That's almost got a sweet in the back of my mouth.
In the back of it.
You know, like almost a sour,
It's-
like a sweet and
it's
sour.
another blender type grape. So they do a lot of I shouldn't say all cab because there's like 100% Cabernet out there, but a lot of the Petit Verdot, Malbec, Cab Franc, and their Petit Syrah, they use those as a lot of blending to bring some color and body into the Cabernet wines, or make a red blend like what you guys are drinking right now. It's a very easy, smooth drinking red wine.
Yeah, I
And
would say
that
so.
lends to that's the part of the Merlot, and the little bit of the Petit Verdot and the Malbec are more for coloring. And I mean, it adds a different flavor to it, but the smoothness of it is that Merlot component of it.
3 generations of farming premium wine grapes across 5 estate ranches in 4 decades. The first impression out of this 2018 Henry's blend is rich, supple, aromatic mix of fruits and fall spices. It is silky smooth on the palate, that is for sure. This wine has a lingering finish that seems endless. I would also agree.
And you can use it for coloring.
You can't- you're writing with the
I'm
cork.
writing with the cork.
You are such a
Oh,
kid.
see, there you go.
Yeah, it's like finger paints. Like, look at this.
All
Almost
done.
kinda looks like blood.
Send it to us. We'll frame it and put it up.
Ransom
I
note.
Put it in the winery.
I should. You ship us a book, we'll ship
You
it
could
back.
sign books with this.
Perfect.
One bottle for you.
That is very good. Now I really want to go get the third bottle.
That's
and try
one of
that.
that is probably one of the best reds that we've tasted as far as drinkability. I feel like some of the reds that we've tasted are very easy to think about pairing them with a red meat or, something along those lines of, okay, this would be great to amplify the flavors of something else. I could just sit and drink this.
It's like
I don't need
it's like an all day wine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's Henry's goal. He was a very social man, and so it lends to what he looked for out of life. Pretty
Love
cool.
that. Love that.
So tell us more about you're on the vineyard side. You're the farmer.
Yep.
What else is offered out of Trione?
As far as
Do you do events? Do you have a tasting room?
Oh yeah. So they do. They have a very nice stone building facility. It's from 1908, or the original structure is 1908, and it's all old redwood beams. And they do. We actually got married there. We're the first people to get married there. And you can put anything in this stone building, and it looks pristine. It's we serve tacos in there for our harvest party, and it's all we throw down is white linen, not like fancy linen, but tablecloths, and serve tacos on paper plates, and the place is still beautiful. But it is an absolute. It's a beautiful building. I can't say more about it, but it is. All original stone. All the building is trimmed with old tankwood from 1908, so it's all old redwood tankwood. That still has wine stain. That's all been refinished and used all around the winery and that building in particular. But it's a really, really cool. They do weddings. They have private events. Sometimes we'll do a little local artist or musician and stuff on the weekends. And we built a bocce ball court a number of years ago, my dad and I, and they have bocce ball tournaments, and it's a fun, it's a very open winery. The staff is great. You can walk in wearing exactly what you guys are wearing now, and they will greet you and pour you wine and make you have a great time. It's not. You can walk in there.
What's wrong with what we're wearing right now?
I mean, I would hope that I would get served wine
sweet.
in this trademark shirt.
But it's not like there's some places you go and you walk in and you're like, oh man, I'm underdressed.
Yeah.
But you can walk into that place as you are, and it's one of the best tasting room staffs and the most inviting wineries and tasting rooms you'll step foot in.
Do you think you'll be done harvesting by October 17th?
Ooh. Well, if we stay on this trajectory, it is a 26.
They've got trivia night on the 17th.
Yeah, that's what you want to go
We
for.
should
Fly out, go for trivia night.
Fly out to trivia night.
Oh, we're gonna need a little bit more of a plane probably for that.
Or you could wait
get
till
that
December
Get all
6th.
that harvest cash flowing. You never know.
Shoot, yeah, maybe with the old Trump bucks that are coming, he ain't making nothing off the corn we're selling.
I do.
Ugh.
Maybe December 6th we can go out for soups and sweaters.
Oh, I like sweaters
Oh, see?
and soups.
I never thought of
Hopefully the weather cooperates so you can wear your sweater.
Yeah,
wine going out with soups, but it makes a lot of sense.
I see a ram mount, skull mount on the back wall. Are you a big hunter too?
Oh yeah. That kind of came with the territory. I didn't hunt it all. I was pretty outdoorsy, mostly with sports and kayaks and dirt bikes. But if I didn't hunt, I wasn't going to marry my father-in-law's daughter.
Yeah,
it was. So I've been ram hunting I've been to Alaska a couple times now, and went and hunted in the Brooks Range up there. But you fly into Dead Horse, Alaska. It's about the northernmost point of Alaska you can fly into. And then you take a bush plane back in, I'd say a little bit over an hour back into the Brooks Range. And the one up on my wall is my second sheep. And if you hunt, for me, it's the pinnacle of hunting. It is butt kicking. It'll test your mental state with all, you get dropped in a bush plane, and from there on, you're on foot for anywhere from 3 days. And that ram took me 15 days of being out in the mountains. We hiked almost, we checked all my mileage. I ended up hiking overall that 15 days, like 97 miles. And it was just a butt kicker experience of a lifetime, and I want to do it again.
How did you have enough food for 15 days?
We carried in enough food for 10 days on our backs. And then at that day 10, they airdropped us some more food. We were just spent. So we needed, we just, running out of supplies. And the guy that runs the company, Big Game Backcountry, he's a wild man. He just literally threw stuff out the window and it just went rolling down the airstrip on the side of the river. And we just chased it like we hadn't eaten for 3 weeks. I was like, just send me a vegetable and send me a piece of fruit. That's all I want. And it was a pretty amazing hunt, though, that one. That was 2 years ago.
That's not a cheap ordeal to do that, Tanner.
I'm aware.
I got a good buddy.
No.
I got a good buddy that grows rice out there in California, Seth, and he does the sheep hunting as well. And yeah, it's crazy. Trains for it, all that. It's hiking. It's a mental just drain on you to go do that stuff.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool.
It's an absolute blast.
You know who Kris reminds me of? Does he look like anyone familiar to you?
No.
Take your hat off.
Oh,
He bald too.
Joe Rogan.
it does. It does.
It looks like Joe Rogan. Yeah. He's wine Joe Rogan.
So
That's funny.
Yeah. Doesn't it though?
I do. I see it.
Yeah.
do.
He's going to have his own podcast here soon.
Well, I love this, Kris. I know that you're working hard out there. You guys are getting the harvest in this fall. We feel your pains and your energy all at the same time. It's the best time of year, and sometimes feels like the worst time.
Yep.
All at the same time.
I call harvest vacation. Probably it's like he's like it's working hard. He's not happy unless he's working. Like it's kind of like a
What is question of what you're going to do
There's
today?
no question about what I'm doing today, tomorrow, the next day. Like whatever comes up either has to be taken care of now or pushed off until after harvest. And I enjoy that fact of it.
Yep.
So
Yep. It's all, everybody has something to do. There's no guessing. And it's about 6 to 8 weeks, but there's 3 of them that are just ball busters.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
But it's going so far so good. We're in that first week of the 3.
Yep.
No, that's great. If you guys want to get some of the wines that we tried today, you got to go to trionewine.com and you can get the information there. Hit that shop button and check them out. Of course, we always thank Sonoma County. Such a great relationship we formed 2 years ago and continue to like being a part of. And this was neat, having a perspective. I didn't know. We never know what to expect when we get these guests on, but the man doesn't drink wine.
No. Well, he tastes it.
Takes damn good care of the grapes.
I hope that someone's keeping track of because we keep saying we're going to come see you when we come out there. Like someone better be getting an itinerary.
We're going to be there for 2
us.
weeks.
Yeah,
We will.
Oh, you guys come out. No, for sure.
Yeah,
Come on out.
that'll be fun.
Oh.
So make it happen.
That's great. Thanks again. We appreciate you, Kris.
No, thank you guys. Thanks for your time.
And listeners, we always appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Corey, what do you tell them at the end of this episode?
I say pop yourself a bottle of Sonoma County wine. Guys, this stuff, I have thoroughly enjoyed learning about this stuff. It is amazing. You don't have to be a wine grower to appreciate it. Get it yourself, a few different bottles. Sit down with your friends, your significant other, and try it. It's interesting. It's like if you like bourbon, there's so many different palettes that can go with this. We're learning about goji berries and orange blossoms and crushed violets and cedar. So we're trying to learn all that. So pop yourself a bottle of it. You deserve it.